Hello, welcome back to Fallout 76. Yes, it's time for Minerva's big sale. The items from the last few sales will be on sale again, so this is your chance to get them if you missed out. And make no mistake, there's some pretty good items. Minerva will be setting up a tent at Whitespring, just outside the refuge entrance. It's ahead and to the right after you fast travel. Right where I'm shooting at. And try not to aggro the robots, eh? She'll be there from the 25th of July, midday, to the 29th of July, US Eastern Time. As always, we'll go over what she's got for sale, starting from the best. The Secret Service Underarmor is the best for combat bonuses, and the shielded lining gives you the biggest bonuses. It's endgame gear for people who don't use power armor, and if you missed out on previous weeks, this is a great chance to get it. Don't bother with the protective lining also for sale, get this one instead. To make the shielded lining, you'll need fluorescent flux. The easiest way to get it is from the Sundew Grove at the Cranberry Bog after someone nukes the area to start the Scorch Queen Beast boss event. I covered how to get all the different types of flux in a dedicated video, so you should watch that if you're not familiar with farming flux. There's two types of limb mods on sale on this occasion. Personally, I recommend getting the Deep Pocketed mod from the vendor at Vault 79 after you do the gold quest. Each limb will then give you an extra 10 carry, which is more than what you'd get from reducing the weight of your armor via the ultralight limbs. But on the other hand, the ultralight limbs will give you extra action points, so it's worth it if you're in need of extra AP. Whether you prefer Deep Pocketed or ultralight, both are endgame mods for Secret Service armor and well worth your gold. This is the second type of endgame armor for commandos. The difference between Brotherhood and Secret Service armor is that BoS armor is a bit more focused on physical protection, while Secret Service gives you more even protection, especially against radiation. The best mod is Buttressed, but there's no discount on that. You'll have to buy it from Vault 79, and the same goes for Deep Pocketed utility mods. This is what it looks like with the default paint. Unlike the Secret Service armor, you don't have to paint it to hide the ugliness. The caster is arguably the best sniper in the game, as long as you use it in VATS. It's a heavy weapon that does both physical and energy damage, so it's effective against all enemies. With good legendary stars, it's one of the most effective weapons in the game. The projectiles do have travel time, so it's best to use the caster in VATS, so you can simply fire at enemy heads and not worry about having to lead the target. It's still effective outside VATS, but it's a lot trickier to get headshots because it doesn't fire very fast. You can combine it with a Stabilize perk to reduce enemy armor, but using VATS in power armor eats up your core, so that's something you should account for if that's your preference. Another factor to keep in mind is that it's a heavy weapon, so you may have to sacrifice some weight saving perks if you want to boost damage. But I personally find that it's perfectly useful outside power armor and with no heavy weapon perks. You find this one under resources and you can have one per camp. It's a machine that lets you dump ammo and later on exchange those points for other types of ammo. A big drawback is that you can't exchange ultrasight ammo, so you have to learn how to farm if you're going to use prime receivers. The conversion rate is pretty bad, but it does have its uses. Personally, I tend to use it the most when I'm short on 50 cal ammo. Other types of ammo are pretty easy to farm, so don't use the converter much. The best way to build up your score is to use a broadsider and do a few expeditions or daily ops and sell the extra cannonballs. Another way is to scrap weapons from events and turn that steel into railway spikes to sell to the exchanger. One option to save gold is to go use one at another player's camp. There is the option to spin the converter too, but to this day I haven't the foggiest why the hell the option is there. This one's for people who favor heavy weapons. Gauss weapons have an inherent explosive property, so using the Gauss Minigun allows you to get a different second legendary star, like faster fire or hitmans for more damage while aiming. If you run short on ammo, you can farm by using a Gauss rifle. The industrial area in the pit expeditions is amazing for farming all types of ammo. This is the shotgun version of the Gauss weapons. It's not the best damage dealer, but it's amazing if you want a tagger because it's inherently explosive. Just pull it out and shoot in the general direction of an enemy and you're pretty much guaranteed to get a tag during events. You should be using Grenadier to get bigger explosions, and Demolitioner to boost explosive damage. But don't forget to take advantage of Shotgun's specific perks like Skid Shooter for more accuracy, and Enforcer to cripple enemies. Another great use for it is to farm ammo for your Gauss Minigun, especially if you use ultrasight ammo. Despite everything, it's still pretty effective at killing enemies if you use Bat's headshots and charge the weapon before firing. Minerva is also selling a couple of mods too. A big drawback of the shotgun is the short range, so the extended barrel is a must-have. The extended magazine gives you 4 more shots, but personally I use the armor-piercing receiver because shotguns don't have perks to help you there. And because armor-piercing from the same source is additive, that makes my armor-piercing shotgun with the piercing mod bypass 90% of enemy armor. The hardened receiver boosts your damage to equal the prime receivers. Choose whatever one will give you ammo for your other Gauss weapons. If you use the Gauss Pistol, there's mods for sale that will make it more effective. The aligned barrel reduces your VAT's cost, although the silenced barrel is probably the better option. The drum magazine lets you carry 30 plus ammo, and the refined receiver lets you hit harder. It's not the worst weapon, and it's pretty nice if you favor pistols, but it's hard to argue that it's worth spending gold when you can just use the Gauss rifle instead. The calibrated shocks are no-brainers in my opinion. The extra 100 carry capacity is always good, and there's very few alternate leg mods that give you better benefits. The other good mod for sale is the jetpack. Chest mods have mod choice, so it's more of a debate, but the jetpacks are one of the better options. The other recommended choice for me would be the emergency protocols if you play at low health. Keep in mind that flying will use up your fusion core, so power armor jetpacks are not as good as commando jetpacks. It could just be me, but it does also feel more sluggish to fly in power armor. If you do use a jetpack, make sure to also get the bird bones mutation for longer flights and marsupial to jump higher. Both make jetpacks far more effective. Another aspect to keep in mind is that if you have unique power armor jetpacks, then you don't need to buy the standard jetpack. You can just build the unique jetpacks instead. They're separate mods, not just skins for the jetpack. And skip the rusty knuckles, they're not worth the gold. This is a version of the scout armor that adds bleed damage to your weapons. Unfortunately, damage over time is usually poor because it's too small and it doesn't stack from the same source. The only weapon with an effective damage over time is a cremator with a slow burn mod. The bleed from the armor will apply simultaneously with damage over time from your weapons, but like I said before, damage over time is usually too small to matter. It's always more effective to take another shot and kill the enemy, instead of waiting for damage over time to do that. The Glaive is a powerful weapon, there's no doubt about that, and the mods for sale on this occasion are pretty nice overall. But keep in mind that you get some pretty similar weapons for new main quests that come as part of the Skyline update. The V63 Zweihander is as effective as the Glaive. Although the Glaive does have the advantage that you can re-roll the legendary properties, so you can end up with more suitable stars than what the Zweihander gives you. The Glaive is a nice weapon, but it's just not worth the gold unless you're a melee focused character and can take full advantage of the weapon. This is the fire version of the floater grenades. It's got the best fire damage over time out of all grenades, but like always, it's best to just throw a more powerful grenade and kill the enemy outright. You also need to get sacks from the floaters, so I recommend you skip all floater grenades. They're just not worth the hassle. Both of these are daily ops rewards. They're legendary weapons by default, but the default stars aren't good enough to recommend. You'll be better off just re-rolling better weapon types. Yes, if you've ever wanted to wear a silly umbrella for a hat, then this is the choice for you. I'm not kidding. It might keep the rain out, but it makes you look like an idiot. This is the version of the bed that makes all your childhood dreams come alive. Did your parents refuse to buy you that special bed when you were a kid? Well, this is your chance to get your revenge on those stingy bastards. Unfortunately, there's no unique buffs, so you'll just have to enjoy the satisfaction of a good night's sleep. This gives you dirty water, but with the new water boiler, there's no need to buy the well. I can't see it, but the Raider Gold vendor should be selling it. That might be because they got it from the scoreboard. The only reason to get the well now is if you want to use it as a decoration in your camp. In any case, that's all that Minerva has for sale in this instance, so hopefully you'll be able to get what you need. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. See you soon.